Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Juanita with Jscursions, and my channel is all about getting up, getting out, and getting active, and hopefully to inspire you to do the same. So with that, in today's video, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be changing the lattice that's right behind both my Nelly Moser and my Elsa Spath that I planted last year. And the reason for changing the lattice is because this is pretty wimpy. And so I'm going to be replacing it with this little bit larger one here. The reason for that is because both of these clematises are already starting to form out their foliage, and both of them get anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall and about 4 feet wide. So because of that, I need to be able to have them both kind of just do their thing and hopefully keep the flowers in my side of the yard. The other thing that I'm going to be doing today is I have a lot of hostas that I also planted last year that are just starting to emerge out of the ground, as well as my coneflowers, my Coreopsis, as well as my lilies, and so on and so forth. So I need to protect them so that I can let my chickens out. I have often been told, how do you protect your plants from your chickens, from them digging them out or throwing dirt everywhere? So I will be showing you how I do that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and try to untangle both of these clematises and replace those two, swap them out. And so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I really like hearing and reading about what you have to say. But yeah, so let me bring you real close so you can see what the status is of them and what they look like at this point, and then I'll go from there. So it's really hard to see where these are, but you see all this dead limbs here, leaves from last year. Those I'm just gonna kind of trim a little bit, but it's got a lot of new foliage here all the way up the stem. This one here is the Nelly Moser over on this side. Last year, looks like this one needs some water. Or did I break that? Oh, nope, I broke it. And then over on this side, I have my Elsa Spath, and this one, actually, I will clip it down to about here, but the Nelly Moser, it's already getting fairly large. And I apologize if this is not very clear, but as you can see right here, it's already forming their first set of buds. This is very early. Now, both of the Elsa Spath and the Nelly Moser, both of the flowers will get about 4 to 6 inches wide. And the other thing that I didn't point out last year was last year, because it was its first bloom, the Nelly Moser was white, but as it matures, it'll be pink with a white stripe in the middle of it. So the Nelly Moser will look like this. It'll be white with pink. I reversed that, but this one here is the Nelly Moser, and that's this really large one right up here coming up. The Elsa Spath, which is this one right here, that's just merging up. This one here is going to be pretty much the color that you see right here, which is kind of like a lavender with a white stripe in the center. It's going to be beautiful. And that one actually was a dark blue color last year, so that's going to be true to its color this year. We'll see what the Elsa Spath does this year. Okay, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to see of this, but they're intertwined. And Some of them may be just a little too tight, but there. There. Okay, so I was able to get one, both of them. So to create a little bit of a buffer, and so that the plants can intertwine into the lattice and not so much cling onto the fence and go through it, I'm going to do a little bit of a buffer using a little tiny plastic container because this won't deteriorate. And so I'm basically creating a buffer by putting a wire through the hole, and then I'm going to tie it over here. So that's going to create a little bit of a buffer there. Then using more wire, I'm going to just tie that to the fence over towards him. So now what I'm going to do is, and hopefully you can see this. So I'm just going to clip away any of this dead stuff, and I probably cut some of that, so I got to be really careful. Nope, I didn't. I'm just going to trim any of that dead stuff. Doesn't have to be perfect. And this one got broken, so I'm going to just go ahead and trim it off right there. So now I'm going to intertwine this very carefully and start training it. And when you do this, you got to be very gentle so that these just don't. Put this here. Okay, so now my both my Spath and my Nelly Moser, they're going to do really well on this new trellis. It's going to be wide enough for it to have something to cling on. Now, will it prevent them to clinging onto the fence? Probably not, but having a buffer will at least allow them to find their way through the trellis. Now, while I have you here, as you can see, a lot of my hostas are just starting to come up. And so I need to protect them from the chickens, which I did with this one, which was already there last year. And then this morning I went and put a tomato wire over this one. As you can see, it is just starting to emerge right there. There's only one, but that's enough. And then I have another one right here. So, to protect them from either me stepping on them or the chickens digging them out, this is what I do to protect them. Last year, I kind of put sticks around certain plants, as well as some of my hostas over here, as you can see. That does help in protecting them. Cheaper way of doing it, but just the same, thought I'd get a little bit bigger mesh, then they can dig around there. Now I do have more hostas coming up over here, and I'm not 100% sure where they're at because I didn't do a very good job of marking them last year. This year will be better. So what I do for a temporary solution until all of my coneflowers, which as you can see I have a lot of coneflowers right over here, I need to protect them from the chickens, so I will be placing these around them. And it's just a temporary thing. Once they've emerged, the chickens really don't bother them. But it's just something that I do to protect them. So if you have chickens, this is something you can do. It's very low costing. These things were probably about $3.95 a piece. They're very nice and sturdy. I just place them up and around. So now these don't have to be like planted really sturdy down in the ground. The chickens know they're there, and they're not gonna try to knock them over or anything. Okay, so as you can see, I have quite a few of them here because all of these coneflowers right down here are all coming up. My Coreopsis has emerged quite a bit, but there's still a lot of them coming up, and that takes up quite a bit of space. They're not going to bother this one, but they will dig around over in this side, so I need to protect that. They already started digging, and that's why it's coming out kind of kittywampus. Okay, so this is just a temporary solution. It's not a perfect solution, but it is a great solution if you have pets, whether it's a cat, dog, chickens, even squirrels. Squirrels are notorious for digging plants out. So this is one way to allow your plants to have the opportunity to emerge and get bigger and better and more beautiful, so you can enjoy them throughout the season. Because once these get much taller, probably up to here, then I can remove these and it's not going to be a problem. So that's what I do to protect my plants and give them the opportunity to grow this early in the season. So you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big like. That helps me with my YouTube journey and creating more content for you. But most of all, you guys, don't forget to get out, get active. Plant a little bit of garden in your area, whether it's in a container, in the yard, or simply protect your plants and giving them that opportunity and chance to survive. Okay, love you. Mwah. And I'll see you when I see you on my next one. Bye-bye for now.